Getting started with dropshipping in 2020 with literally $0. Many people say it can't be done, and honestly, I don't think it is the best idea. But in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do so if you are stuck doing so. If you have no other choice but to get started with dropshipping and you have literally $0 to your name, then this video is going to be for you. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it step by step, how to go about doing so, and then I'm going to also show you every single slide what you should be doing or what software you should get when you do have the money after doing this manually with zero software for $0 a month. So hopefully you like the sound of this video. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let's smash that like button, get it out to everybody that we possibly can. Also be sure to check out my Instagram down below. I just got started with a new one. Be sure to follow it. I post content every single day. And if you are interested in a free training, let's go along with the $0 here. There's a free eBay dropshipping training in the description down below. So let's get into the video. I made a PowerPoint for you guys and I'll see you inside of my computer. All right, so here we are inside of my computer. And also, like I said, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification to get notified every single time I post a video. And don't forget to smash the like button like this guy is doing right here. So I have a question before we get started. Do you use software in your eBay dropshipping business? If so, which ones? Leave the comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys are using and what you want to learn more about in the future. But this video is about making money on eBay dropshipping or dropshipping in general with $0. So let's get in how to do that right now. So many people get started in dropshipping with little money. It's out of a place of disparity. They need money. They need to make some sort of income online, and that's how they come to dropshipping. And honestly, I completely understand that. But when you get started with $0, it does make things a lot harder, but it is possible to be doing so. So software is always being pushed. I push software. I support software. I personally use software every day in my dropshipping business, but it is not 100% needed. If you have the money, I say 100% you should be using it. But if you don't have the money when you are getting started, I know a lot of people start with very little money, then you do not 100% need to be using it, and I will show you in this video. You can do this without software. It's just going to be more work. You either have a lot of time or you have a lot of money. And if you have no money, then I'm sure you probably don't have a job, and then you have a lot of time. So you can spend a lot of time making a little bit of money and then move it into spending your money more wisely and saving time. So you don't 100% need an eBay store right off the bat. So that's one of the things I always suggest to my students. If they have the money, it's $27.95 a month, and you get an eBay store right off the bat. The eBay store will lower your fees. So if you're selling on eBay, you get hit with fees, your final value fees, you're going to get hit by eBay by 10% if you don't have a store. If you do have a store, it's 9.15%. That extra almost 1% is a very large difference. And if you plan on selling over like $2,700 a month, then you are going to end up saving money if you have a store. But again, if you're just getting started, then you might not be hitting those numbers yet. So you don't need a store right off the bat. So that's going to save you $27.95. I'm going to add up all the savings at the end of this video. So then you're going to reinvest your profits into software and virtual assistants later on down the road. And I'll tell you what software in the following slides. And then from there, you'll be able to run your business autonomously, which is the end all goal for all of us out there. So let's get into the big overall portions of the main parts of dropshipping right here. Product research is probably the most important part about dropshipping, because without products, you can't do anything else. If you don't have products that are selling on your eBay store, then you cannot do anything else in this business. So you can do this easily by hand. Again, this is one of the easier ones to actually be doing by hand. It is a lot more tedious. It's not as fun, but again, you could even have a virtual assistant doing this by hand. Then you're saving money on the cost of the software, and also then outsourcing to a virtual assistant, which I think might be a better way to go if you have some money or once you start to gain some. So let's talk about a simple, just process in the item research phase or the product research phase that I always talk about. You're gonna take the brand Mainstays, which is the private label brand of Walmart. Say we're dropshipping Walmart onto eBay. You're gonna type that into eBay. Once you type on Mainstays, you're gonna find an item with a, just a generic product photo, a white background or something that looks staged, not one that's taken in someone's like basement or on their kitchen counter. They're most likely not dropshipping, but the other people are. You're gonna click on that item. You're gonna go into the seller's store. So you click on the item. On the left-hand side is going to be on the right-hand side is going to be the seller's name. You're going to get to this part. Then you're going to click on items for sale. When you get to items for sale, it will show all their items. And then if you scroll down on the left-hand side, it will say sold listings. Once you go into their store and you click on their sold listings, those are the items that have sold on their store in the last, it's some amount of time. I think it's more than 30 days. It might be 90 days, but that's going to show their sales. From there, you can click on each item and see how many times that item has sold per month. So if you're looking at an item and you'll see that it has sold, it'll say on eBay. eBay tells you which items sell. And this is all Zik Analytics is doing. Zik Analytics is just pulling all this data for you and putting it into a very organized format for you, so you don't have to be wasting your time doing all of this by hand, and it really breaks it down, makes it more streamlined for you. But if you don't have the $30 a month to spend on Zik Analytics, this is what you should be doing. So once you do that, you click on sold, and then after that, you can see how many times in the last 30 days. At the time of me making this, it was, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It still is 5. It's over 5 in the last 30 days. That's a good item. That's an item that you would like to snipe. That's an item that you would like to throw up on your store. And if you don't understand what else I'm talking about, check out the more beginner videos I have on this channel. But once you have those items, just put them into a spreadsheet, and then you list them to your store. So that's sourcing items by hand. Basically, it's doing what Zik Analytics does in the background for you just by hand. All you need to do is go into someone's store that you know is drop shipping, go into their sold listings, which is right here. Look at their sold listings. You're gonna know they're sold because their dollar amount shows up green. That means they're sold. Then you can click on that item, click on the title, and it will say how many have sold. When you click on how many have sold right here, it's gonna show you how many sold and what dates they sold. You can count back based off your current day. Today is the 11th of April, so this was screenshotted a bit ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's over 5 in the last 30 days. Let's snipe this item. Let's go find it at Walmart. We'll snipe it. This is going to replace Zik Analytics, which is $29.99 a month. So that's product research. Let's move on to how to do listing items with $0. List items by hand in eBay. Actually, I still have my virtual assistants doing this sometimes, so this is actually a pretty, just a pretty easy thing to be doing off the bat as well. And it will teach you the listing process. You want to get a very good feel and grasp of the listing process before you start to outsource things like this. So it's easy to do and recommended. So it teaches you the in-depth listing process, like I just said. If you look at your eBay store in the top right-hand corner, when you're just at your eBay store, it will say sell. All you need to do is click that. You're just gonna take the item title or a UPC or anything about that item to get it started. You might find one that's already in eBay's product catalog, but that doesn't matter. You can list it any way that you want. You want to make a good title. I have videos on that. You want to make a good picture. I don't really have very many videos on that, but as long as the picture doesn't look terrible, grainy, maybe make it bigger, maybe make it a little bit nicer in some way, shape, or form, a gallery photo or a collage photo or something like that. That's about it. You don't really need to do too much with the picture. Description, just make sure the description looks decent. Like, it does not have to look fancy, does not have to have a fancy template. Just make sure that there's not spelling mistakes, grammar errors, just the formatting issues all over the place if you're copying it improperly from Walmart or whatever supplier you're using. And then item specifics. Item specifics are by far the most important part of your listing nowadays. eBay's really been pushing them. They show you nowadays how many, searches each item specific has, and you can add your own item specifics. So always add in the ones per the category that item is. And then after that, add in your own and make sure that you are putting as many in as possible. When you start doing this by hand, you're going to get a lot faster over time, and you're also going to learn the process a lot more in depth. When you do that, you're going to become a listing master. So now you're a product research by hand master, and you're a listing item by hand master. You saved yourself the need to buy SKU Grid, which gives you SKU Fetch for free, which is $14.99 a month. So we've saved 30 bucks with Zik Analytics, 28 with the eBay store that you don't need right off the bat, and 15 with SKU Grid, SKU Fetch combo. So right now we're talking about repricing and stocking your items. This is by far the hardest part to be doing by hand. I can tell you that right now. I have some students that say that they're doing 400 items by hand. That is absolutely terrible. Unless you're using a supplier that doesn't change prices very often, doesn't change stock very often, I highly suggest this being one of the first things that you are outsourcing or that you are actually buying the software for. It's one of the cheaper softwares that I'm going to be talking about, and is also definitely the most beneficial to your business because it's not going to hurt it. You're not going to get flagged as long as you use it properly. You use the non-API version, and it's going to save you so much time. So what a lot of people do that I know that do this by hand is they're going to make a spreadsheet. All you need is basically the supplier's URL, whatever your supplier is, the price that it is currently, the stock that it is currently in and out of stock, basically yes or no, and then the correlating eBay listing that is connected to it. At that point in time, you can set up a system. I've never actually done this by hand because I've always used software. You basically just set up a system. If you have a spreadsheet that is, supplier URL, price, stock, eBay URL, then just set up the system that you're going through and checking maybe twice per day, once per day, maybe 5 times per day. Who knows? It's your business. It's up to you to see how much you care about it. So I would check multiple times a day and go through and make sure. All you need to do if you're inside of your listing section on eBay right here is when you go up to a listing, they changed it recently, not recently, but to me it's recent because I've been on eBay for so long, that if you hover over a price, then there's a little pencil comes up and you can just edit it right there. So you don't need to go into the listing to edit things. You can edit the quantity too. So you can set the quantity out of stock, set it to 0, or just put it up to whatever stock you choose fit, 5, 10, whatever, as long as your eBay listing limits can handle it. So over time, you'll most likely notice that some of your listings either change a lot or some of them either don't change a lot. So maybe over time, if you want to do this by hand still, then you can phase out the ones that change all the time and keep the ones that don't change that often. So if they don't change that often, then there's really no need to check them as often, and eventually I'm sure you'll get a great feel of your listings. You'll really know each one personally. But like I said, this can all be done with software once you get the money to be doing so. So again, the whole point here is to be starting with $0, be doing this for free, running your store with $0, putting in the time because you don't have the money right now, you have the time. And then once you start using your time to make money, you're going to take that money to save you time, which is going to be learning the software, hiring virtual assistants, going out of your way to make your business bigger and better than it is already. So you can easily update in eBay, like I said right here. And this is going to replace SKU Grid, which is $14.99 a month at a minimum plan, and SKU Fetch comes with it, the one that I talked about right here. So this $14.99 is not twice, it is one charge of $14.99. So let's get into 2 other smaller software that I use. You do not have to use these at all. Again, I have students that are doing very well that don't use these software, so this is not necessary either. The other ones I would say are the more important ones. SKU Grid, Zik Analytics, and actually getting a store are going to be the most important parts of your business. You can very easily do order processing by hand and or uploading tracking by hand. You can very easily do this. You do not need software, but again, it is going to save you time. So if you want to process an order by hand, all you need to do is you need to have listed items, get products up onto your store, sell said products, hopefully for a profit, as long as you did your calculations properly. And then at that point in time, you're going to need to process the order at your supplier. So you're going to need to take your seller's address and you're going to need to put it into your supplier's website. So why does Spot and Paste save you time? Because Spot and Paste has pre-programmed suppliers. They know exactly how to paste it into each supplier. And if they don't have that one pre-programmed, you can actually program it in yourself, which is very cool. So this works for any type of online copying, pasting of eBay into whatever supplier you're using. It doesn't have to be Walmart onto eBay. It doesn't have to be drop shipping either. It could just be anything that you're copying and pasting addresses into. So that's very cool. But how would you do this on your own? You would literally just highlight, Control C is copy, Control V is paste. At that point, you're good. Or you could right click, copy, right click, and then paste. So that's how you're gonna copy and paste their address. Their address comes in on the order. All you need to do is click the order number and you'll be good to go. Same thing pretty much with TrackerBot. So TrackerBot, there's a non-API version, which I suggest everybody that's doing eBay uses. And at that point, instead of using the TrackerBot non-API, which I looked, the cheapest price is $12 per month. All you need to do is go into your email and basically just copy and paste it right into the tracking section of where your orders are placed in your orders dashboard on eBay. So again, Spot and Paste is $15 a month. TrackerBot is $12 a month. And also, if you guys want access to any of these softwares early and you have gathered some money, there is usually a coupon code for each one down below in the description. So check that out. That could get you, on your way quicker for less money. That's about it for software. Let's get some key takeaways here. In total savings, I added up every single software. If you were to use it, is going to be about $100 a month, $99.91. And again, you need to think about it from the perspective of what business used to be in the past. Before the internet came out, before people started doing dropshipping and stuff like this, and then it came out with the easier version of retail arbitrage, which is what we're doing, Walmart onto eBay. You used to have to put a lot of money down up front in order to start a business, no matter what it was. You most likely had to get a loan, you most likely had to do something, save a bunch of money, go into a bunch of debt or anything in order to get your business up and running. But nowadays you can legitimately, I just showed you a way to do it for $0. And at the very most, you're going to be paying like $99 a month for your software. That's $1,200 a year. Almost no business out there can say that I run my business for $1,200 a year. So, you need to realize when you're getting into business that it does cost money. It does cost money in some way, shape, or form. Yes, you can do it for $0 like I just showed you. But again, it is going to take a lot more work. And in my opinion, as long as you have the money, if you have some money, you should be spending it on software, outsourcing, anything like that, because it's going to help you and save your time exponentially. Also, this is a business. This is not another job. You do not want another job. You don't want to come home from your job, just to work another job. Eventually, ideally, your goal should be to outsource everything to make this a business where you are the business owner, you are the overseer, you are the one collecting the checks without having to do really much of the work. You're just kind of the brainchild of the operation. Many can't pay that when they begin, the $99 a month, and I completely understand. So, put in your work, do your due diligence, and actually, take actions, make listings, find products, do this by hand. Items aren't going to miraculously pop up into your store. We have a lot of students that sit there and go, oh, I'm not doing well or something like that. And then you ask them how many items that they have listed, and they have like 5 items up. That's not enough work. I can find and list 5 items in probably an hour and a half if I really wanted to by hand. That's it. If you've been working at this for 2 months and you only have 5 listings up, you're not putting in the proper amount of effort that is necessary to see success in this business. Your success is directly measured based off of your effort put into this business, especially if you do not have software, especially if you don't have the money to work to get the software. You need to work for it. Put in the time, put in the effort up front, and you will reap the rewards. So use your profits to get things like SKUGrid and eBay Store and Zik Analytics right off the bat. I would say an eBay Store probably first, and then SKUGrid and Zik are pretty equal. Zik is going to help you find a bunch of items, but without a way to actually reprice them, then it's kind of, it's a risky battle, and it's a double-edged sword the entire time. So, just do your due diligence. Those are the first 3 that you should get. And then I highly suggest using software if you can afford it, like I said. Afterwards, get TrackerBot, get Spot and Paste. There's really not that many other ones out there that I use, I don't think. But that's about it. So let me know if I forgot anything. If you use any other software that you think would be important for this video, or something that is free, open source, and could help the people out, leave it down in the comments below. I would love to hear from what you guys are using out there. Yeah, that's about it. Please ask me any questions if you have any below. So in conclusion, post them below. Don't be afraid to ask questions. No question is a stupid question, except for the ones that you don't ask. Keep that in mind. You're never going to move forward with anything in life if you're not asking questions on it, or making mistakes, or going out of your way to actually learn something. If you found this helpful, please be sure to subscribe. Smash that bell notification. Get notified every time I post a baller video like this. And that's about it. Thank you guys very much. Be sure to like that. Smash the like button as well. Follow my Instagram. Check out the free training down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.